Hi guys, so we're going to be doing a slightly different video today. A lot of people have been going nuts over the last few months of this year over the One Pump Willie Strat, which is a streamer who mains Onryo, Sadako, and he uses this basic build here. Well, I say basic, it's not very basic at all. It's actually very complicated. And it's basically to condemn the shit out of everybody and you ignore hook states completely. Now, I've modified the build ever so slightly. I'm using the new perk from the Knight that enables you to see auras of people once you've kicked a gen, because it's a very kick gen heavy build. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying this out. Now, I've only tried this once before this game that you're about to see. It's pre-recorded. I wasn't live. And I actually played this against bots, believe it or not, okay? So, I tried it out on bots. Didn't quite work on bots, because bots don't run the way you think they're going to run. They don't really drop pallets. They don't run towards TVs. So I only managed to get 2 condemned on the bots. But I got a basic gist of how to run this. Now, I'm still not 100% clued up on realizing who to chase, when to chase, blah, 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 blah. But this was my first attempt in a public match, or a ranked match, as I guess you could call it. So we're going to see how we get on here. Now, the perks themselves are mainly kicking gens, Call of Brine, Eruption, and yeah, so we're just going to crack on with this. But the main strat here is you do not hook. You basically just go for downs. You slug them, and when they heal each other, one of the add-ons will then provide an extra stack of condemned if someone condemned is doing it. Then we're also using the Eerie add-on, which allows us to turn our TVs back on if we hit someone within 8 seconds of manifesting. So all of that adds up to stacks upon stacks upon stacks to get as many people condemned as possible, hopefully all 4, and then Mori the absolute shit out of them with her built-in Mori state. So here we go, guys. This is going to be the game. And now we're running discordance as well. I forgot to mention that. And that's basically going to tell us if 2 or more people group up on a gen. So it gives us good information. Call of Brine also tells us if someone goes back on a gen after we've kicked it as well. So we've got 2 information perks. Someone's already jumped down by the sounds of it. Here we go. This might be our first hit that we're looking at here. Obviously, the TVs don't turn on for about 40 seconds, I think, at the start of a game. So there is that element. I was a bit short there. A little bit short there. A little bit eager with my hit. Okay, so I tried to teleport to this TV to get more stacks on her. As the game gets on, I get a little bit better at following the scratch marks and things from the teleport. Because the teleport, you come out the TV the way the TV's facing. So that's something to bear in mind if you're going to try this strategy, or if you play Sadako anyway. They're one of the main things you need to be aware of, is where is the TV that you're teleporting to facing, and then which way is the survivor going to be when you come out of that TV. It can be a little bit disorientating at first. And there we go, we've got another discordance, but we're trying to get this down here. I think this is the correct way to play this strat. Anyone that has done this more than once, or if One Pump Willie ever sees this, I would definitely like some more tips on this, because this is a great strat, I think. But this was my first ever attempt at it in a public match. We did try, as I said, one game before this with bots, but it's very hard to practice a strat like this with bots, because bots do not run where you think they're going to run. They don't do what you think they're going to do. And yeah, it was kind of difficult. In the end, I had 3 bots slugged, which was kind of crazy. And in the end, I think one of them bled out, and I had to hook the other one after we moried the first 2. So 2 mories wasn't too bad, and we did obviously get a 4K. I mean, it's bots. If you don't get a 4K, you probably need to practice a little bit more. But here we are. So at the moment, I'm just roaming through the TVs to try and figure out what gen they're on. I think they might have realized I've got discordance at this point. So we're going to kick this. Now, I see the top of the head of the Meg, and the Knight's perk there is showing me that she was there as well. I missed that shot, which is really annoying. I think she had sprint burst. She doesn't drop this, though, and she runs into a bit of a pickle here. I was expecting a pallet drop, but we went round anyway. Teleporting to the TV that she's running near to try and get more condemned stacks on her. Whilst continuing chase. She's going to clearly drop this pallet. That's fine. Not sure about the new pallets. I'm not sure if I like them, hate them, or I'm indifferent. I think right now I'm indifferent. I'm not too sure whether I like them or not, but a bit obvious. Yeah, quick and quiet into a locker, I believe. Alright, and then we just drop. There we go. So this is the strat. First drop, first down, and they've already got one gen done. Now, I confused, I think, this gen with Discordance. It's actually called a Brine that's lighting this up for me. So I went to it anyway, stupidly. I should have ignored it completely. This was the gen they started on, but they never finished or got any progress on. I know they're back at her now, so I probably should have been pressuring that, but my TV was off. So we're here. So we need to get a de-manifested hit. Oh, sorry, a manifested hit. 8 seconds after manifesting to get all our TVs turned back on. So that basically means if you play it right, you can teleport almost, not unlimited, but you can teleport a lot of the time. Like a lot of the time. Here we go. Kicking the gen showed me she was here, which was fantastic. So I think this Knight perk actually works really well with this build. Two gen defense perks, really. Another one that benefits you kicking gens, and one that gives you info on people on gens, which is great. So this was the Yui we got with originally. She's pre-dropping, which will actually come in massive later. The fact that they're pre-dropping these pallets is really helpful for us later on in the game, that we're getting these pallets out of the way. We're going to teleport to this TV. So note I've got to come either left and around or right and around, because she's going to be behind me. That's something I started learning here quite early on into the game. I realised I need to be a bit more comfortable with that. I have lost her, though. I think I might have seen her in the distance there watching this back, but I lose her in this instance. We get another Call of Brian value, though. Aura's not shown to us using the Knight's perk, which is unfortunate. It's only a few seconds. Maybe the next 2 seconds with Lethal would be nice, but it's 2 seconds. We're not going to pander over 2 seconds. So we've got Discordance here, or Call of Brian. There's Discordance for sure. There's 2 here. There we go. Nice value. I'm going to kick it anyway. I'm kicking it anyway. I'm going to get Call of Brian on it while I pressure them, but I can also see their auras. And then we've got 2 in the middle, 1 on our left, 1 on our right. So we should be able to grant a few hits here, which would be really nice. Reset our TVs. Fantastic. And we've got a few people injured. I'm not sure how that pallet stun hits me. You can see I'm quite a little bit away from the pallet, but DBD will DBD, right? So we've got 3 megs in this game, which does confuse me later on, as I wasn't paying attention to their names, and when we do get someone in a condemned state, I actually mess up a little bit because I'm not sure which meg is which. We just get this hit, which is really nice. Again, DBD being DBD. I bet she dropped that pallet 2 days ago, but it didn't land. Scratchy's here. Someone's coming in already for the save. It's another meg. We get a nice free hit on her, and we've got plenty of time now to try and get this second down. She's helping her friend on the floor bleed out, so well, this is good for us. This is our backup strat. If we don't get to condemn everyone, we can just leave someone on the ground long enough during this game to bleed them out, because there's a lot of slugging involved. So that is another way to kill people if you can't get the condemn mori. Obviously, you can resort to hooking, but we're trying to do the One Pump Willie strat, which is to condemn the fuck out of everybody. Right, so we've got 2 megs down in 1 pallet. 1 meg is instantly up. I think it might have been an unbreakable. Can't really remember, but no, Yui seemed to pick her up. Wasn't unbreakable. Okay, cool. We get another free hit here. Lovely. And we know we've still got 1 down, which is great pressure. They're getting stacks, but if I can keep the pressure on by keeping them down, that's even better for me. Realistically, I would have liked a gen to kick nearby so I could see if someone was hiding, trying to save, but we're going to teleport some gens, try and spread this condemned. We luckily find 2. We find Meg and Yui. Yui, I'm happy to hit you, Yui. I'm happy to hit you. I want everyone hit. I want everyone injured. But the more you heal each other, and the more condemned there is. So you can see the auras coming in here. I decided to go for the Yui rather than the one that's slugged. We do need them to get the stacks. So we do actually need them to heal. So me keep interrupting the heal is okay for a little bit. But interrupting all the heals is not the way forward. And I knew I was going to get this Yui down because she was in a little bit of a dead zone. Okay, so we're going to go to this TV. They're all in the same area. I believe the TV radius is 60 meters, which is fantastic for us. Which means if we roughly know where they are, we can make sure that they're getting stacks. At this point, I can't see any glitchy effects on any of the survivors, so I think everyone is below the stack limit. But we've got 2 down again, so this is really good pressure for us. Really means that the gens aren't going to be flying as much now. And here we go, injured saving injured. I can reset all my TVs again, get another down. This is a slightly long way of playing the game. You could maybe argue if we were going for hooks, would we have got a win quicker? Would we have done better? Or is this a better strat because we're actually wasting their time? Because they've got to heal each other, they've got to pick each other off the ground. If they left someone on the ground and sat on gens, it would probably be a lot harder for us to do this strat. Okay, so we're literally pinging around the map. All these TVs are relatively close, so I'm hoping in the 60 meters that we're either going to find people or we're going to get to a stage. I accidentally demanifested instead of staying manifested. That was my bad, but it doesn't matter really. All three of them were there and standing in front of me. I'm going to get hit somewhere along those lines, right? Not going to matter at all. And here we go, another one. Yeah, this Meg starts memeing a little bit. I think she's getting a bit fed up of being slugged. But that's fine. This is working to my advantage. Play into my hands if you dare. Alright, cool. So we're going to another TV here. Again, trying to get these stacks up. I don't know if the stacks... I don't think they do, but I don't think the stacks apply to down survivors if they're near a TV and you teleport. I don't think that's how that works. I could be wrong, but I don't think so, because I think you could then farm that strat. So again, the third Meg is over here. She's uninjured. Happy to go for her. Tries a little bit of a mind game. Does quite well, but then I can see her sort of scratch marks anyway, so... Not too much. I think she might actually lose me here. She probably quick and quieted into a locker, to be fair. She did it earlier. But I want to keep the pressure on. We're trying to keep the pressure on as much as we can. These two are still down. Lovely. Didn't intercept anyone coming in for a save. They're at half health as well, and they've still got 3 gens to do. So, without Condemned being at max right now on anybody, it's still not a problem. We've got 2 people that are half dead. There we go. Our first Condemned. Now, I make a pretty vital mistake here in that I thought Killer Instinct carried on for longer. And it doesn't, and I actually lose this Meg. And it's not one of these 2 Megs here. I think it is, and it's not. So I think it's that Meg on the ground. And it isn't. I think it's one of these, and it's not. So I actually downed 2 Megs that it wasn't. And I should have realized that, because they were the 2 that were down anyway. So that's an error that I can rectify if I do this strat again, which I'm sure I will. It's quite fun. It's a different way of playing. You don't have to worry about hooks. You don't have to worry about flashlight saves. Because you're literally just downing them and then moving on. Okay, so we got Yui over by Shaq. One of the Megs is up. The other Meg isn't condemned anymore, so that's a bit of a shame. I teleport to this TV because it's near the people that are down, so I'm trying to get more stacks on people. This Meg unfortunately goes down again. We're going to kick this gen. No, we don't kick the gen. Okay. Probably because it had like 2% on it. She dead hard, misses really badly. And, yeah, she isn't the one that's condemned again. We did it again. We fucked up again. We actually went for the 2 Megs that weren't in the condemned status. But we found the one that is condemned. So this is where we need to pile the pressure on. I think that's the TV she needs. Mainly because she's heading that way. So this is the one we're looking for. And we're going to try and round her off here. Now, I try a little strat. Because I'm undetectable right now, I'm trying to hide because I know she wants this TV. So she's going to show herself. She does show herself. And I'm going to get a hit off here. Just about. She runs past the TV. So I'm not sure if it's this one she needs or the next one. But I'm not going to risk teleporting because we've already got her where we want her. Now, where is she? Of course. She quick and quieted into this locker. Of course she did. Unlucky, Megan. Nice hair. Love it. Love this for you. But you're going to be our first condemned. Yui's also condemned if you look at the bottom left. So it's the green add-on that's doing this. So when they pick each other up off the ground and heal each other, they're giving each other stacks. I think it's only 1 stack per heal. I don't know if it stacks on top of stacks. So I don't know if they go from dying state to injured, 1 stack, and then injured to healthy 2. I'm not sure. Potentially. Or it could just be 1 stack for the whole thing. I'm not sure. I need to probably do a bit more homework and research on it. So, the other girl bled out on the ground. So, she's dead. So, we're down to 2. And there is still 3 gens left to be done, guys. This is a crazy strategy. Crazy strategy. I didn't even kick this gen. I didn't even kick the gen. Now, if you look, Meg's got the tiniest little bit of health state. The tiniest little bit of health state. So, we can either camp her body out. Or we can teleport through these TVs to see... We've got 2 TVs really close by that should be in our proximity. So we can see if the Yui is nearby. And we can get her condemned. But, unfortunately, 2 bleed outs. So, as you can see from this, unfortunately, instead of getting 2 condemned, which I kind of thought I did get, but looking back on it, I didn't. 2 people bled out in-game, which isn't fun for the survivors, I admit. But let's be real, guys. If you're playing as killer, are you that bothered about the survivors' fun? I think the answer is no. And at this point, it's pretty much a GG's. I've already won. It's a 3k. And we're just basically trying to see if we can get the 4th. Unfortunately, we don't do very well here. Yui does a really good job of hiding. I'm trying to see if I can find her in the replay so I can scan a little bit better. But she is actually prepping a gate right now. And she's doing the old strat of getting the bar to the letter C on escape. And you'll hear it here, I think. Nope, no red lights. I think she's waiting for me to use up all my TV teleports. She's obviously got eyes on me and can see me. So now I'm having to walk away. It's taking longer and the gates are spaced apart in a fashion that walking isn't the greatest option for me now. But I've used up my TV's teleporting in the first instance. And as I get here, you can hear the door going. So unfortunately I was too late. She did really well, this Yui. Props to her. Great escape. And she doesn't even teabag or anything. So mad respect. So yeah, really good game. We got the 3k, which is a win. Unfortunately, had to bleed 2 people out. But I'm sure as I get better with the strat, I will be able to probably get more mories, condemn mories. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you think about this strategy. Let me know if you want to see me do it again. Maybe change the perks up a little bit. But until next time, guys, you stay fucking groovy. Peace!